Thanks for joining us on NTA Nationwide. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Security agencies in the country have been given marching orders to do whatever it takes towards putting an immediate end to the various acts of crime and criminality in Zamfara and other parts of the country. President Muhammadu Buhari issued these orders at a strategic meeting with the service chiefs and head of other security in his office. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
Although President Muhammadu Buhari has been meeting the security chiefs almost on a weekly basis, this particular one was in response to the prevailing sense of fear, insecurity, as well as uncertainty in parts of the country, which he described as intolerable. At the strategic meeting held behind closed doors, where the Minister of Defense, service chiefs led by the Chief of Defense Staff, Acting Inspector General of Police, as well as Director General of the Department of State Services and the National Intelligence Agency. Also in attendance include the Chief of Staff to the President, Abba Kyari, and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Bosgida Mustafa.
The security meeting we've just had with Mr. President is to review the strategy that we are adopting in confronting the security issues in Zamfara State, especially, and other places nationwide. And this review strategy is to address all the issues, including kidnapping, banditry, and other associated issues confronting the nation.
During the meeting, which lasted about 2 hours, President Muhammadu Buhari expressed serious concern over the heightened tension amongst Nigerians following renewed hostilities by criminal elements that constantly threaten lives and livelihoods. This, he warned, must be brought to an end for peace to reign supreme in the land.
The marching order is for us to deal with this issue immediately and ruthlessly and ensure that all those bandits are immediately dealt with, and all those issues that are bordering with our security are properly addressed.
On his part, the Acting Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, is assuring Nigerians that solutions have been found to the acts of kidnapping along Abuja-Kaduna Road.
I want to assure Nigerians that Kaduna-Abuja Road is now safe. We have cleared the road. We've arrested a lot of the kidnappers, and in confrontation with some of them, some were fatally injured. So the road is cleared. Our patrol teams, the combined security services that are patrolling the road are there constantly 24 hours.
The acting IGP has just returned from the northwest Nigeria on a fact-finding mission. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And still on security, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuko Barate, says plans are underway to establish a military formation in Kogi State to stem criminal activities and other forms of insurgency in the confluence state. Francis Udojo reports that towards this end, a delegation of the Army Chief was in the state to inspect the project sites.
Kogi State at a point in time was bedeviled with several cases of farmers' herdsmen clashes, banditry, kidnapping and other forms of crimes, which has given the state negative image in the media. It is as a result of these and in line with the federal government commitment to tackling the menace that informed the decision of Nigerian Army to establish a military formation known as 109 Special Forces Battalion Barrack in Okene, the central part of the state. Major General Ademo Adekusalio, who led the delegation on inspection of the location, met the Ohinohi of Ibiraland, Alhaji Ado Ibrahim, to intimate him on the essence of the visit to the area. The delegation thereafter inspected facilities at the Force Operational Base, Government Secondary and Okene Secondary Schools to ascertain the convenience of the areas.
The approval for Barrack has been granted already, and what we're here for is just to put effect to that approval, so it can be sure that it will be as soon as possible.
The delegation was earlier received by the Secretary to the state government and other government functionaries, where they were intimated on the purpose of the visit. The delegation is expected to report back to the Chief of Army Staff. From Okene, I am Francis Udojo, NTA News.
And we're not done with security matters yet. The Niger Police and other security organizations have started taking more proactive measures in the fight against bandits and cattle rustlers in Katsina State. The Acting Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Abubakar Adamu, made the statement when he paid a courtesy visit to Katsina State Governor Aminu Bello Masari. Correspondent Lawal Ahmed Matazu has details.
Of police visit was in response to the directive of President Muhammadu Buhari to curtail the security challenges facing the northwest of Nigeria. During the visit, IGP Mohammed Adamu met with special squad tagged Puff Ada, deployed to the frontline local government areas of the state. IGP Adamu Mohammed said the squad will deploy special tactics to apprehend these criminals and bring them to justice.
Some of these bad guys have relatives within us. They have friends within us. They have sisters, brothers within us. They also get information from us.
He urged the community members to cooperate with the force and other sister agencies in providing relevant information that will assist in arresting the individuals. He also warned members of the community who are collaborating with the criminals as informants to desist from such acts. In Katsina, Abdul Malik Hassan, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has urged the federal government to impress on security agencies the need to be proactive in curbing security breaches in parts of the country. The lawmakers in Thursday's plenary, while talking matters of urgent importance, expressed concern on cases of killings and kidnappings and called on authorities to put a stop to such unfortunate incidences. In the meantime, the House has resolved to investigate the alleged killing of an INEC ad hoc committee in Rivers State during the governorship and state assembly elections. Also to be investigated is alleged illegal acquisition of farmlands by a foreign company in Jigawa State. Details on these and more in subsequent bulletin. Political leaders in Africa and faith-based leaders have once again been advised to ensure peace at all times by making justice, equity and fairness their watchword. This came to the fore on NTA's flagship program, Good Morning Nigeria, on lessons learned from the Rwanda genocide 25 years after. Serafina Okon has details.
Bringing down of the presidential jet of President Juvenal Habyarimana of Rwanda in 1994 brought about the 100 days of genocide in Rwanda, leading to deaths of about 1 million of its citizens as a result of discrimination and hate speeches.
Where there is no justice, where there is no fairness, where we allow division, ethnic division, religious division, and the rest of it, to thrive, you are invariably likely to have situations like you witnessed in Rwanda.
After that genocide, the whole world, the international community agreed that hateful and divisive politics will not be allowed to take root again.
What was not known is the plan to exterminate the Tutsis who were in the country at that time.
The guests believe that for liberation of Africa as multicultural society, Africans must collectively move away from hating and seeing each other as lesser humans.
Religious leaders were involved in the crisis of Rwanda. We cannot exonerate religious leaders because they allowed ethnicity to color their discretion.
Africa needs a harmonized system, but unfortunately, both the leaders and those who are by the side of the government, they only encourage themselves in collecting the resources and dumping them in the banks abroad.
The lessons learned from the Rwanda experience, the guests say, reminds those beating the drum of war must realize that it does no good to all involved, just as the media must know their primary responsibility is to facilitate peace and development at all times. Serafina Okon, NTA News.
Kaduna State Government has promised to constitute a committee for the return of victims of the recent Banono and Ongwan Ako gunmen attack in Kajuru local government area to their homes, Mohammed Umar and Jingi reports.
A recent attack on Banono and Angwan Aku communities left more than 20 killed, scores injured, and many displaced. Governor Nasru Ahmed El-Rufai was in the